absolutely terrible. My husband's home with the flu. My kid is sick. So this is probably not going to be my most best talk here. So forgive me. I'm going to do my best because my head is just pounding. But I did post for you guys because I had plans to grab some protein bars and a couple other things today to show you like macros versus calories on labels. And I couldn't leave the house because he was down and I had to take care of Finley. But anyways, so I did it a while ago and I just posted it in the Facebook group. And I showed you guys, can't remember, 2 or 3 different protein bars just to use them because protein bars are pretty common for calories being wrong. So it's a good example to use. So when you get a second, go back and watch that because I literally broke it down and showed you what the label said the calories were, but what they actually were on that when you get a chance. And I'll kind of briefly go through it tonight with you guys as well. But I just want you to reference back to that one, that it's a very good explanation of macros versus calories on your nutrition labels. Oh, wait, I have Bethany's registered as well. So I'm gonna wait a minute and see if she comes on and then we'll get started and I'll just hit the basics, answer what questions you have, and then go to bed. You guys have a good holiday weekend? Yeah. Oh, you guys are muted. Okay. I'll sit here in silence till.
No. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. Oh,
That's good. Oh man, she found me.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know she feels terrible, but she's just attached to me. Can't get anything done.
Yeah.
And she's bipolar too. I keep saying, Jill, and I'm sure all kids are like this. She's up for a little bit and then she's like down. She's up and then she's down. And there's no middle and there's no like easing into one or the other. It's just 100% on or off. It's like,
Yeah. Oh. Well, hopefully you will all feel better soon.
I hope so. Okay, it's 8:00. I'm going to go ahead and get started on this, guys. Do you have questions first? Kenzie, I know you had a couple because you sent me a message. Do you want to ask me your question first and I'll answer it? Or do you just kind of want me to explain nutrition labels? You tell me.
Well, my main question was just how my macros don't add up at the end of the day. Well, my macros say that they're there, but the calories, I'm always like at least 100 off one way or another. So it's just.
Okay. So that's why, first and foremost, macros and calories. So your macros make up your calorie content or your calorie consumption. Okay. For every gram of protein or carbohydrate is equal to 4 calories. For every gram of fat is equal to 9 calories. Okay. So if you have, I'm just going to use this for easy numbers and let me write this and see if you guys can even see it. So if we're eating 1,500 calories, okay, and our macros are set at, and like I said, I'm just throwing out numbers here for the purpose of this. So you guys can see this. Okay. If we're 1,500 calories and I'm 35% protein, 35% carbohydrate, and 30% fat, I'm going to tell you what those grams would be and how you figure that. And this is all in the core membership and the resources, how to do this. So 1,500 times 0.35 for 35% protein divided by 4, that gives me 131 grams of protein. 35 carb, again, is going to be the same because it's 4 calories per gram, and fat is 9. So I'm going to do 1,500 times 30%, divide that by 9, and that's 50 grams. Okay. So I had 1,500 calories, 35% protein is equal to 131 grams, 35% carbohydrate, again, is 131 because both are 4 calories per gram. Then I have 30 grams of fat or 30% fat, which is equal to 50 grams of carbohydrates. So if I take this 131 and I multiply it by 4, because it's 4 calories per gram, that is going to be 524 calories. Okay. So of my 1,500 calories, 524 will come from protein. 524 will come from carbohydrates. And then my remainder, my fat, so I'm going to take 50 and I'm going to times it by 9 because there's 9 calories per gram. That's going to be 450 calories. Okay. So these are going to equal my 1,500. All right. So if you hit your grams, see how you're hitting your calories? Does that make sense? So your calories your macrograms make up your calories. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope so. Give me a thumbs up. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So if you're hitting or you're in range really close to your grams on a day by day, then you are super close with your calories. All right. The reason that calories are off in your Fitness Pal, one is just plain data entry error. Okay. Sometimes because, it's got a huge database, but the database is built off people using Fitness Pal and scanning and putting in food, right? They're not going to like sources, and they're not like going to Nabisco and entering all the labels off of that and putting it into Fitness Pal. It is coming from other users putting that information in that is building the database on it. So one, you're going to have user error. 2, calories. So manufacturers are allowed to round calories on nutrition labels. So I think, and if it's still the same, and this is what it was a couple of years ago, I don't know why it would change, but if you have a product and your serving size is 50 calories or less, the manufacturer is actually allowed to round up or down by 5 calories. So what that means is, say we have something that is 42 calories, they can actually round down to 40 and say it's 40 calories, or they could round up to 45 and say it's 45 calories. So therein lies some error that can come with calories versus macros. Okay. If it's 100 calories or more, they're actually allowed to round to the 10. So if you have something that is 120 or 122 calories, they could say it's 120 calories, or they could say it's 130 calories. Most likely, they're always going to say it's less calories. So where you can run into an issue with that, if you just tracked calories, is let's say we had something that was 128 calories, right? Well, they're allowed to round that down to 120. So that you're just saying, oh, that's 8 calories. But if you have 8 to 10 items throughout the day that are all rounded down, those 8 calories times 8 to 10 could add up to an extra 100, 120 calories that are unaccounted for throughout the day, and can make a difference, especially when you're in a calorie deficit phase. It 100% makes a difference. If you're in maintenance, not so much, but if you're trying not to put on weight, it can add up, because if that's an extra 100 calories a day that's unaccounted for, you do that by 7 days a week. Well, that's 700 calories that are being unaccounted for. That starts to add up over time. So that's why we always go to macros over calories, because macros make up the calorie amount. Does that make sense? Am I got everybody on board with me there? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I was just more worried that when you said that, like maybe the macros portions off too,
No.
or do they round those, or it's just the calories that they usually just round?
Yeah, it's just the calories that they're allowed to round.
Got it.
Okay. So they're allowed to do that. And then also there's other things. And this is, if you go to the nutrition guide and look at the video that I did on the protein bars, because I get really into that, because they're also allowed to discount fiber calories on things. And that's how those protein bars can make their calories appear less. I can't remember because it's been a minute since I did that video, but I think the Quest bars were pretty bad, like a 50, 60 calorie differential on their bars. But again, you have to go back and watch that. But I talk about it in that video, how for some reason the FDA allows fiber calories to be deducted as well on nutrition labels to make things appear healthier, right? And then along with that, since we're on fiber and carbs, there is no such thing as net carbs, guys. Every single calorie counts, and those two are directly related. Every single calorie counts. Okay. So there is no all that stuff is just marketing BS basically. Because when it comes down to it, like your body doesn't, it doesn't subtract calories because of the fiber. Now fiber, because it is, it can't technically be absorbed and digested, but it is still utilized. It still requires calories to break that food down. So it is a calorie consumption. So it counts when you're doing it. And that's kind of their philosophy behind it, is it, you know, it just passes through, but it does not 100% pass through. Parts of it are utilized. And those calories do count when it comes to that. Okay. Hey, Bethany, we already got started. I'll just tell you real quick, Bethany, because I told them in the Facebook group, I just posted a video that it gets into more detail on, I actually pull up protein bars and show you the labels and how the labels are incorrect and how they read. So when you have a minute or after this meeting, if you have a second, you just watched it. Okay, perfect. Because I'm feeling like poo and I didn't want to get into all that. And I didn't have time to go and get protein bars and do it with you guys. But you can take a look at it and get the information that I was going to tell you guys tonight. So, okay. Any questions on that? That's basically all there is to it, really. Any other questions that I can help with when it comes to calorie counting, macros, any of that kind of stuff that you guys got? Anybody? If you don't, you're not going to hurt my feelings tonight at all. Because no, and that's, I hit all the things that I was going to talk about, all the bullet points for the Zoom very quickly. So, okay. Well, everybody's silent, so I'm taking that as everybody's good. Can you at least give me a thumbs up? Let me know if you're good. Let me know if you have any other questions. I definitely don't want to leave you hanging. I want to make sure I've answered all questions. But if you don't have any more, then give me a thumbs up.
I do have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I am in the calories where I'm going up.
Your reverse.
Reverse. Thank you. It's been a long day. And so if I had like a couple days where I've missed my mark, I know that you want us to stay in that one for another week, but if I did that again, like, you know, because I'm still trying to adjust to it and I'll like undershoot it sometimes because it's just a lot of food. I'm at the 1,800 calorie mark. How much are you missing it by? Well, like one day I'll maybe be 100 calories off. You know, I always try to hit my protein, but then the next, my little guy's running around here crazy too. And then, you know, then the next day I'll try to overcompensate and I'll like overshoot it sometimes. So
make up the additional calories. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, no, like I guess just trying to eat more. I don't know, just getting busy and then saying, I don't think I have enough and I'll overshoot it once I enter everything. But so if I've done that 2 weeks in a row, like this is my second week on the 1,800. Do you think I should back down one and then try to like reset it? Or do I just keep staying at the 1,800?
Stay there. Yeah. Okay. No, you keep there and you just keep pushing. But if you're hitting your protein every day?
Yeah, I'm making sure I at least hit my protein every day, but sometimes I'll go over on the fat.
How far off are you on carbs and fats?
Well, the carbs are like really the main thing that I'm having trouble hitting, but sometimes it's like 30, 35. But I'll go over on the fat. No, well, I'll go over on the fat. So isn't there a way to like steal from one to another? Or is there no?
Yeah,
like I'm hitting the calories right.
I don't want you getting in that mindset. I want you to get the carbohydrates in. I want you to learn how to fuel your body and get that in because your body needs those carbohydrates.
Okay.
So you're under by 30 to 35 grams with your carbs regularly?
No, just for the past 2 weeks that I have been, like there's been a couple days where I've missed it or I mainly miss it, but there's been a couple other days where I've gone over because I'll have like thinking I need more and then I'll eat like, more sweet potatoes or something. And then once I enter everything, I noticed that I was just like in a fast mode and I didn't track it before I ate it. I just kind of eyeballed it, you know, on my
Okay.
scale, thinking I needed it, and then I
Gotcha.
actually ended up not needing it. So, but there's been
So
2
my first
weeks
tip for
straight.
you would be, since you're at the 1800 and this is 2 weeks and we're still not quite getting it, is record all your food the night before or first thing in the morning, whatever works for you and your schedule. Lay your entire day out, get it as close to your numbers as you can, and then eat your food. So it just sounds honestly like a little bit lack of planning, preparation, and
That's exactly it.
Yeah, trying to wing it. So put a little bit more planning in it, like tonight, like right now, when I'm in my calorie deficit, especially, all my food is completely planned out. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to have to make any choices. I want to know exactly what to eat the next day to hit my goals. So I always line everything out when I get in bed that night before. And it doesn't take now. I mean, you've been tracking, it takes 30 seconds, right? Go in, put your food in, lay it out, plan it, prep it, and then let's see if you can hit it.
Okay, but you want me to stay in the 1800s until
if you're undershooting by 30 to 35 grams of your carbohydrates, yes, and that's where your focus needs to be. So that's really not that much. That's like a cup of rice. That's like 6 ounces of potato. You know, it's an English muffin in the morning with your breakfast. So it's not like you got to add a ton of food in. You just need to put it in there, plan it, and actually eat it.
Okay, perfect.
And then hit that and then move up. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with staying at a calorie amount for 2 weeks. If you feel like it's a lot of food and you're having trouble getting it, or if you're getting any kind of digestive feedback, you know, because your digestion has to catch up to the food coming in, just like it lowers down with the least, you know, when we eat low amounts, it has to ramp up with the big one. So maybe sometimes people's digestion's a little bit slow and it takes you a little bit longer to get it. And if you need to stay there for 2 weeks, that's not a big deal. Just realizing it's going to take you a little bit longer to get to where you want to be. And if you're okay with that and doing it right, then it shouldn't be a big deal.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any other questions? No, I'll put this in the group, Bethany. So I'll go back so you can go back and watch what you missed in the beginning, where I talked about the macros and the calories. I don't know that I'll get it up tonight, but I'll have it up tomorrow for you guys for sure. And I'll put this in the group. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I have coming. I have new workouts coming, which there should be a ton of virtual workouts in there now. And in the next, I say 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I'm going to be doing programmed workouts so if you wanted to do your own workout, it's an 8-week program of lifting, basically. It's not me doing it with you. It's just me. I've written it out. You will get exercise. There will be a whole page of exercise demos where you can go to it, look at what the movement's supposed to look like, the form, etc. So just another variation of workouts. If you want to try those or mix it up and not always look at my face when you're working out. So that will be coming very soon in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And as always, any feedback you have on the website or anything that you would like to see better or improve, please don't hesitate to let me know. So, all right, guys, have a good night and I will talk to you soon.